Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the owner of seasonandserveblog.com. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how we turned our front yard from this very sad and barren landscape into this lush, full garden that is full of beautiful flowers and lots of pollinators. I'll be walking you through the entire process that I took from sowing seeds directly into the soil to planting seedlings to maintaining the established plants that we have now. And of course, I'll be sharing the names and some video footage of all of the different varieties of plants that I have in this garden bed, just so that if something catches your eye, you will know exactly what it is. So if you're interested to see how we made over our front yard and to see a lovely garden tour, just keep on watching. We began our front yard makeover back in April, and in here was basically all weeds and two really big juniper trees. I don't have photos, unfortunately, that don't give away the name of my street, so you have to trust me, it wasn't looking good at all. But what I did at the beginning of spring was replant some things from around the house, including a burning bush, a hydrangea, a blue spruce tree, and some lavender. And here on Vancouver Island at the end of April, it is the perfect time to sow some seeds. So to prepare our garden for that, I started pulling out all of the weeds, and I made sure to try and get the entire root so I wouldn't have to pull it later on in the season. After pulling all the weeds, the dirt in the garden was really uneven, so I decided to even it out by using a rake. And this was really great to prepare the ground as well for sowing seeds. I worked in small sections at a time, and with sowing seeds, sometimes you forget where you actually put things. So for me, I like to use popsicle sticks to mark out exactly where I sowed my seeds this year. So here you can see me putting the popsicle sticks in the ground. And within the popsicle sticks, I sowed my seeds. And in this particular spot, I believe I sowed some beautiful cornflowers, which I'll show you at the end. And with cornflowers, they need just a light covering of dirt to actually grow. So I just kind of tossed the soil right over top. And then I simply repeated this process for all the other seeds that I had. In this particular spot, I grew some green zinnias in here. And then in this spot here along our fence, I actually grew some beautiful, amazing gray poppies, which I will also show you at the end of the video. But this was very satisfying. During this time of year, once you start sowing seeds, you know your garden is going to be looking really great, but you do have to be patient as some seeds take quite a long time to germinate and begin to grow. But waiting and watching the seeds grow is really fun, and that's just a big part of gardening, and it's always worth it in the end. And then once all of my initial seeds were sown, I went ahead and gave it a really good watering in. Luckily for us here on Vancouver Island, we do get a lot of rain in the springtime, so one initial watering was basically all it needed. And after I finished watering, phase 1 of our garden makeover was complete. And just a few weeks later, this is what the garden was looking like. There was really small seedlings scattered in and around where I sowed them earlier, and I had some of my little tuber plants come up, including peonies, gladiolas, and a banana leaf plant. Now at this point in the middle of May, it was time to plant out some of the plants that I had started indoors. I started a bunch of them from seed, including asters, rudbeckia, gaillardia, a bunch, and I'll show you them at the end. But I went ahead and started placing everything out where I wanted them to go and started planting. Now the soil in this garden bed is not that good since it's been neglected for so long, so I decided to add in a little bit of compost around each of the seedlings just so they have the nutrients to grow. And this process was really fun, but it did take a long time since I had so many plants. I think in total, from digging the holes to adding compost to actually planting the seedlings and getting them all watered in, it took me about 2 hours, which was pretty crazy. I didn't estimate it would take that long, but it was a fun process and I really enjoyed it. And then in terms of maintenance, all we did was basically water them whenever the soil got really dry. And it's really important to do that and make sure you keep your plants nice and hydrated, especially when they're seedlings, until they get established and they can grow their roots and get water from deeper into the ground. But overall, it was really easy and the plants got established in no time. With just a little bit of care, in a few weeks we went from having a barren landscape in our front yard to this beautiful lush and full garden. I absolutely love how this looks. There's so many bees, so many pollinators in this garden all the time, and it just looks so much better than before. And of course, I bet you want to know exactly what plants I planted, so I'll run through all of them now and I'll put the names up on the screen so that you can see all the different varieties of plants that we have in our garden. And that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please hit the like button down below, as well as the red subscribe button to see more gardening videos and to see how my garden progresses throughout the season. You can also check out my gardening playlist here on YouTube to see what my backyard looks like and to see what I'm growing back there. And also make sure you check me out on Instagram as well to get some behind the scenes sneak peeks of our garden, as well as my blog where I share a bunch of gardening tips and recipes with ingredients that I grow from scratch in my garden. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.